We have a handout available, and it's located in the comments section of the video. So, put together this handout from a couple different sources that are listed on the back. And I'll point out, I did this out last time, this is Lisa Meisner's instruction booklet and DVD, The Lost Art of Natural Remedies and Hydrotherapy. And I looked for them online on their website, which is noted in the front of this book. And I put it on here too, sustainablepreparedness.com. And they no longer have these in this form. It's all online ebook and downloadable materials. So I'm not sure that they have the physical materials right now, but it's available anyway in those formats. And the other source is Barbara O'Neill, and she's done some good videos as well. You can find several on YouTube with her presentations. And also Yuchi Pines is another good resource, and they have it listed how the instructions for the fomentations, as well as a bunch of other things too, which is really helpful if we're looking for simple medical remedies and things like that. That's an awesome resource, because they have all kinds of different conditions and problems to think about and learn about. So basically, a fomentation is just a substance you use to apply heat to the body. So the fomentation we're going to use is a towel today. So it's one of the simplest things. Most everybody has towels. And so we're going to use that. And you can also get a fomentation pad, or you can make one yourself out of thick cotton flannel, and 3 layers of it, and stitch it together and stitch it across like a quilting pattern to help it stay together. You can use that as your fomentation pad. But I found, I looked in the stores this week and I couldn't find any. So I think you have to order it online somehow, and I tried searching there too, and it's not super easy to find. And the ones they do have are fairly expensive, imported from Pakistan and things like this. So, but the towels work pretty good. And my understanding, you could use fleece to some degree, although it's harder to kind of get it really soaked with water. So that's a fomentation. Then we're using different covers for the fomentation. Today I'll show you a couple of those. We're going to start with a towel one. And then there's a couple other kinds. You can use wool, or else I brought one of our old hydroculator covers, pack covers from work, that I'll show you, because we use those all the time where I work in physical therapy. And so I'll show you those. Wool is hard to find in the stores too. The only wool I found was, I think, at Hobby Lobby, and it was this thick cream color wool, very expensive, and that was all they had. So the best bet is probably to buy a wool army blanket online and cut it up. I scoured a few thrift stores as well, and they want just as much money as you pay online for a new one. So I did buy one that I was able to get at least cut two covers out of it. So the fomentation is to apply moist heat. So the moist part is important because you want it to penetrate into your body. If it's a dry heat, it's not going to do nearly the same. You'll just get more surface heating. You want it to be deep so it opens up your bronchioles in your lungs. Okay, one of the points Barbara O'Neill made as well is, don't worry if you misdiagnose your patient, whoever you're working on. Whatever the problem is, this type of treatment is going to help a million different things. So you don't have to worry about it so much, that it can be pretty powerful and effective, and it won't harm the person. So advantage of using the fomentations, it makes it possible to treat someone who might have trouble immersing, like into a hot tub or a bath and stuff like that. You can do this with them laying on their bed. So that's a good advantage. So the moist heat penetrates very deep and dilates the bronchioles. It breaks up congestion and increases blood supply to the chest area. This effect of opening up the bronchioles can last about 2 hours. So it's a very powerful, dramatic effect that occurs that no drug can do that, basically, to have that powerful effect right away. The heat relaxes the muscles, reduces pain, improves blood flow to the area, stimulates white blood cell reproduction and action. And then the sweating caused by the heat increases the body's ability to eliminate body waste and toxins in the system. And the treatment also calms and soothes the nerves. So I listed there several things that this treatment can help. Again, one of the most important things is trouble breathing from whatever the cause is. Someone have an acute asthma attack or they have pneumonia. The early stages of COVID, this is a super important treatment for what a lot of people experience. So good thing to know about and have in your back pocket. Do not use if someone has a malignancy, a cancer malignancy. If someone's actively bleeding or hemorrhaging, if they have tuberculosis, heart attacks, things like that, you don't want to be using this for that. You want to be pretty careful if someone has sensation problems. Legs and feet of a diabetic person, you want to be careful, check their sensation. And it's still possible to do it, but you might want to skip the hot foot bath part of it and just use a warm heating pad or something for their feet instead, so it's not so severely hot. So be especially careful with thinner aged persons and children. And on the next page, there's a list of supplies. And we'll go through these as we go here. Today I'm going to show the boiling water method of preparing your fomentation. And in an off-grid situation, we'd have to heat our water on the wood stove, or else passively heat it outside, or use one of the rocket stoves outdoors to get some boiling water. So we were able to preheat this. We put this on an hour and a half ago or so, and got the stove going, so now it's nice and hot, and you see some steam coming up. So we're going to use that method, but you could also use the steam method. With these, you basically just need a tall, big pot, because we're actually not canning anything, or we don't have a thing for the bottom, so that your water level would come up to here, and then your towels would roll up and sit in there vertically. Like once you prepare your fomentation, you would have it rolled up, and it wouldn't be so tall, but it would be in there like that. And you could put 3 of them for 3 changes. You just have that covered, and you would steam that for about 20 minutes. And those towels would get that moist heat soaked into them. So that's the steamer method. If you don't have one of these trays on the bottom, like if you use that or this, you could go find some rocks outside and put them down there. And then say you did have one of those canning bottom protectors that's only, very flat and sits right on the bottom. Just stick some rocks underneath it to lift it up, and then fill your water to cover those rocks. And then that'll keep your towels away from the water, or just above the water, to steam them that way. Okay. So these fomentations can be also heated up in the microwave or the oven. And the instructions for that are here, if you wanted to do that, which we could if our grid's not down. Those are available options. So the procedure, first thing to do is pray with the patient. So once we get it set up, then Andrew's gonna be our patient today, and we'll pray first once we get him laying down. Just a reminder, this handout will be located on the website in the comments section of the video. for those that need to find it, find the information from there.
To be aware of new videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to the Preparing for the Time of Trouble channel. For more free videos and downloadable audio podcasts, as well as handouts, go to www.preparingforthetimeoftrouble.com. Topic categories include recordings of live seminar presentations, country living, sustainable gardening, homestead remedies, how to be self-sufficient when the grid goes down, wild edible and medicinal plants, hydrotherapy, and end-time Bible prophecies. To take advantage of these free resources, go to preparingforthetimeoftrouble.com.